West Virginia may have already signed one of the biggest and best recruiting classes in school history, but they may not be done yet, adding two more the day after signing day as well. Let's talk about them. What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? Welcome back into the Country Roads Webcast, where we're providing you WVU sports content from Mountaineer fans for Mountaineer fans. Here today to put a bow on, well, maybe a bow. We don't know, because they've already added a couple more post-signing day. They may not be done yet. We've heard Rich Rod say, they're going after plenty of other players, so we'll see what happens with this 2026 class. But what we do know for sure, West Virginia signed 45 players on National Signing Day. I did a huge recap going over each one of those and taking a look at a few plays of them on signing day. Be sure to check that out if you haven't yet already. I'll link that in the video description. But the next day, West Virginia added two more, one from the JUCO ranks, one from high school, and we're going to talk about each of those here in this video to round out what is currently a 47 recruit class that West Virginia has signed here in the class of 2026, which ranks very highly, which we'll take a look at momentarily as well. But before we get to those things, just want to give you guys a quick reminder, if you would, just hit that like button, give this video a thumbs up. Helps us out a ton with that crazy YouTube algorithm. Helps this video find more Mountaineer fans like yourself. And if you're one of those that hasn't yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Not only are we keeping you up to date on recruiting, but we're going to handle the portal too as well, and any other roster updates leading into 2026. We're going to keep you up to date on the West Virginia roster every step of the way as it unfolds leading into next season. And of course, covering other WVU sports here on the channel as well. So with no further ado, let's get into this recruiting update. All right, as I said, I wanted to lead it off here with West Virginia's ranking because this is super impressive. It's been a long time since we've had a top 25 recruiting class at WVU, and Rivals currently ranks the Mountaineers at 23rd. Some would argue this is the best class in school history. It's one of the best that I've ever seen for sure. I definitely think it's debatable that you could call it that. And what's funny is this is the best WVU recruiting class since the last time Rich Rod was here in his final recruiting class at WVU. So picking right back up where he left off, getting West Virginia back into the top 25. And if that's not impressive enough, how about this? On 3 and Rivals also have West Virginia as the number 2 class in the entire Big 12, behind only Texas Tech, which we know how they've been doing in recruiting. So to see West Virginia up there with Texas Tech is impressive. BYU at 3rd. So the two teams playing in this year's Big 12 championship game and the Mountaineers. If that doesn't bode well for future success and West Virginia competing in this conference, I don't know what does. The Mountaineers top 2 class in the Big 12 according to Rivals. And here I will pull up the CRW recruiting tracker, which I've now updated from verbal commitments to all of the signings that West Virginia brought in on signing day. A list that is so long it now spans across 2 pages, something I've never had to do of the multiple years that I've covered recruiting here on the Country Roads Webcast. So this class, definitely one of a kind for sure for WVU. As I scroll through here slowly, I've covered each of these in that signing day special that I talked about that you can find in the video description. But if you want to know more, you got to know more about the last two, because these are the 2 latest right here. Defensive lineman Jaylen Thomas from the JUCO ranks, which let me add the asterisk there because that's how we indicate the JUCO commits, or JUCO signings now rather, here on this list. And then Trey McGlothlin, a linebacker from Bixby, Oklahoma, teammate of Emory Snyder. We're going to cover each of those now, but I wanted to give you guys a look at the full list of signings that West Virginia brought in. That is now up to 47 names there. Pretty impressive job by this coaching staff. Can't say enough about what they've done, hitting every position, hitting 20-plus states, and 30-plus of these guys are going to be here next month and playing spring ball, which is pretty impressive. Let's talk about the 2 latest signees. We'll lead it off with Jaylen Thomas, a dude that is an absolute beast. I'm sure you've seen some of the pictures going around. This dude is 313 pounds, and we're talking low body fat. This guy looks like a freak of an athlete. 6'2", 313, like I said there. Probably your future nose tackle here at WVU. His original hometown, Memphis, Tennessee, but he's been playing at Northwest Mississippi Community College, a well-known junior college program there, and he has really stood out. 2025 Division Defensive Player of the Year and conference champion. And of course, that is a powerhouse program there that he's playing at. So to win the Defensive Player of the Year there is no small feat. So that says a lot about the type of player that West Virginia is getting here in Jaylen Thomas, who you can see 3-star prospect on ESPN 247 and Rivals. ESPN has him as the number 3 D lineman in all of JUCO. 247 has him as the number 4 defensive lineman in all of JUCO, and Rivals has him as the number 7 defensive lineman in all of JUCO. So either way you spin it, that's a top 10 lineman in JUCO that West Virginia just landed, adding to the list of junior college players that they have that rank near the top of the nation that we've went over in the past. And you can see other offers there: Arkansas, Baylor, Boise State, Iowa State, Kansas, Kansas State, Syracuse, Tennessee, Vandy, among others. So the fact that most of his offers come from the power conference level says a lot about Jaylen Thomas. Let's take a look at a couple of plays that the university shared after he signed. All right, so we'll get a look at Jaylen Thomas there, number 72, lined up right over the center. And this is at the junior college level, so some pretty good talent that he's going against here, D1 bounce backs and such. And you see him blow his blocker out of the way and go ahead and blow up a running play in the backfield as well. Here he is again, lined up at that nose tackle spot. Right there, fights through. Look at the tackle, too. A little belly-to-back suplex on the running back on that one, forcing another TFL. So this is a guy that could wreak havoc in opposing offensive backfields for sure. Love what you're seeing here from Jaylen Thomas. And look at that, beating the center and then devouring the running back yet again, man. It's almost impossible to block this guy one-on-one at the JUCO level, and hopefully that continues at WVU as well. So West Virginia adds Jaylen Thomas, a really talented JUCO defensive lineman, and then went ahead and added one more defensive player to this class as well, and this one coming from a talented program, one of the best programs in the state of Oklahoma this year in Bixby. And let's talk about a teammate of an earlier West Virginia signee. West Virginia also adds Trey McGlothlin. Let's take a look at him. All right, so Trey McGlothlin, 6'2", 205 linebacker, like we said, from Bixby, Oklahoma, teammate of Emory Snyder, who was one of the earliest commits for West Virginia in this class and stuck with the Mountaineers and signed on signing day as well. They are, like we said, a very high-rated program there in Oklahoma. Heading into his senior year, he was the number 6 player in Oklahoma on the Oklahoman Super 30 and the number 6 linebacker in Oklahoma's linebackers to watch. Bixby went 12-0 and won the district championship as well as the state championship. And he was part of a defense that gave up less than 13 points per game, which Emory Snyder was a part of that defense as well. Both of them will be Mountaineers. We look here at some of his ratings for McGlothlin. 3-star prospect by ESPN 247 and Rivals. Rated the number 9 player in Oklahoma and a top 50 outside linebacker nationally by ESPN. The number 15 player in Oklahoma and a top 60 player nationally, according to 247 there at the linebacker spot. Number 17 player in Oklahoma and number 72 linebacker nationally by Rivals. So top 100 linebacker by all 3 services, nearly a top 50 linebacker by all 3 services, and a top 20 player in the state of Oklahoma as well that West Virginia picks up here with Trey McGlothlin, who they flipped late. I believe he was committed to Oklahoma State, if I'm not mistaken. But plenty of power conference offers for him as well. Arizona State, Boston College, Iowa, Iowa State, Kansas, Kansas State, Texas Tech, Utah, and Wisconsin, to name some of those. And let's look at some plays from Mr. McGlothlin. All right, so here he is right there. More of the slot area there than the linebacker. But look at him blow up a tackle, man. Mismatched in size there. You see the physicality. That's some hard edge stuff right there. And just seeing where he's lined up and the way he's playing here, I could see him playing nickel at West Virginia. As there he breaks on a pass that's tipped, intercepts it, and takes it to the house. He could definitely play that nickel safety position. Maybe he'll fit there. We'll see what they choose to do with him. Could use him on linebacker or that nickel spot. I just see him blitzing from that nickel spot and getting a sack as well. You love to see it there from Trey McGlothlin on a talented Bixby team. And one more here, coming off the edge yet again, this time beating a blocker to get the sack. The first one you saw the straight speed. That time he beats the blocker and brings the quarterback down for a sack. So you like what you see on tape there from Trey McGlothlin as well as Jaylen Thomas. Both guys that will hopefully help the West Virginia defense for years to come, as a lot of these players potentially will, as West Virginia has built a really, really special and impressive recruiting class here. Post-National Signing Day, now up to 47 players signed. Are they done? I'd say not yet. I'd say we may still get a couple more, so we'll see what happens. And don't forget there's another signing day period there in February where you can get high school or JUCO players. They may add a couple then. And we still got transfers coming up in January, so plenty more stuff to keep up with, and we'll keep you up to date with it here on the CRW. Appreciate you guys tuning in to this one. Let me know your thoughts on either one of these signees, the class in general, whatever you got there. Throw it in the comment section. Always appreciate those interactions as we continue to try and grow the CRW community throughout Mountaineer Nation. Having said that, as always, I'm Jordan Cruz, and until next time, let's go Mountaineers.